Good morning, students. How are you getting on? Today, we are going to talk about interpersonal skills. So, let's start. Are you ready? Okay, let's start now. Interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills. Okay, in human values. Okay, so our today's topic is interpersonal skills. See, now question is that what do you mean by interpersonal skills? So interpersonal skills refer to the ability to communicate or interact with other people. In business lexicon, it means the set of abilities enabling a person to interact positively and work effectively with others. Okay, it is called interpersonal skills. Okay, it is the process by which people exchange information, feelings, and meaning through verbal and non-verbal messages. It is face-to-face communication. What? Face-to-face. Face-to-face communication. Okay. So interpersonal communication skills are necessary prerequisites for enhancing productivity and continuity of the workforce within organization. Employees with good interpersonal skills are likely to be more productive and permanent than those with poor interpersonal skills because the former displays to project a positive attitude and look for solutions to problems. Now let's talk about components of interpersonal skills. What components? Components of interpersonal skills. See, the following are the different components of interpersonal skills. First, sender. Yes. Communication is always complex two-way process involving sender and receiver. The sender transmits a message to another person. Okay. What? Communication is always complex, is always complex two-way process, two-way process involving sender and receiver. The sender transmits a message to the sender transmits meets a message to another person, okay. Second, masses. See, a message is the element that is transmitted from one person to another person. Okay, it is transmitted 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 from one one person to another person. Okay. Involves both verbal and non-verbal messages. It involves both verbal and non-verbal. Okay. Verbal speech and information. Okay, non-verbal gestures, body language. What? Verbal speech and information, and non-verbal gestures, body language, etc. Gestures, body language, etc. Okay. Next, self concept. What is third? Self concept. A person's attitude and view. Okay, he or she communicates with others. A person's attitude and views. Okay, he or she communicates with others. Okay, he or she communicate with others. Okay, so sender, masses, self concept. Okay, next, listening. Listening, listening, listening. See, listening integrating physical, emotional, and intellectual process, and is much more complicated than hearing. Okay, what? Physical, emotional, emotional, and intellectual process. Okay, listening integrating physical, emotional, and intellectual process, and is much more complicated than hearing. Next, receiver. The receiver receives the message and decodes the message, and assign a particular meaning to it. Okay, it receiver the receiver, sorry, the receiver receives the message, receives the message and decodes the message and assign a particular meaning to it, a particular meaning to it. Okay, so the receiver receives the message and decodes the message and assign a particular meaning to it. Next, we have to discuss feedback. Okay, the receiver communicates back to the sender his or her understanding of the message. Feedback is a two-way interaction. What is it? Is two-way interaction. Okay, next, barriers. See, barriers, anything that comes in the way of communication exchange. Okay, anything that comes in the way of communication exchange is called barrier. Okay, anything that comes in the way of communication communication exchange. Okay, it is called barrier. Okay, so if we talk about the components of interpersonal skills, first sender, second masses, third self concept, fourth listening, fifth receiver, sixth feedback, and seventh barriers. Okay, so interpersonal communication is not just about what is actually said, the language used, but it is said and the non-verbal messages sent through tone of voice, facial expressions, gestures, and the body language. Okay, see, if we talk about the body language, okay, the most important factors that sum up body languages are, okay, let's put a topic: body language. Body language. Okay, so the most important factors that sum up body languages are: first, eye contact. Eye contact. See, steady eye contact, not continuous, as in staring, indicates a sense of confidence and a willingness to connect with the discussion, as opposed to shying eyes and dropping eyes that give an impression of either under preparedness, low confidence, or disinterest. Okay, next, facial expression. Facial expression. A person can very easily give away his thoughts if one is study his face. Okay, if one has studied his face, people who are genuinely happy tend to arch their eyebrows as compared to those who smile only out of courtesy. These small hints can give many details and unspoken messages about people. Okay, next, posture. See, it is recommended that you always maintain a proper, straight, and Christ posture while standing or while sitting down. Slouchy posture is often associated with arrogance, sloth, and unproductivity. On the other hand, a person sitting straight in his chair will exude confidence and inspire respect. Okay. Next, specific gestures. Specific gestures. Nodding is universally accepted as a signal for yes. Okay. Sometimes we nod. Okay. Nodding is universally accepted as a signal of yes, and five extended fingers denote the number five. These are certain specific movements that you need to be careful of while speaking, so that there is no discrepancy in gesture and speech. Okay. See, if we talk about the objective of communication, okay, see, main point is that to develop information and understanding among all workers. Okay, what? To develop information and understanding among all workers. Next, to improve an attitude which is necessary for motivation, cooperation, and job satisfaction. Okay, next, to discourage misinformation and rumors. Okay, next, to prepare workers for a change in methods or environment, giving them the necessary information in advance. Okay, next, to improve labor management relations by keeping the communication channels open. Okay, so these are the objectives of interpersonal communication, and it was all about interpersonal skills. Okay, I hope you must have got knowledge. Okay, thank you very much.